Here we go. Andrea Heuston here. I'm the hostess of the Lead Like a Woman show, where I feature strong, amazing, and brilliant female leaders and how they're changing our world for the better. We have over 40,000 people on social media who are sharing our message of empowering female leaders to empower others. Keep sharing. The best way to help us is to go give us a 5-star review on Apple and share it with a friend if you like what you hear. So in this episode, we're going to talk about the continuation of tradition in business and how a family business can keep going in such a way that it changes with the times. But first, before we get to that, this episode is brought to you by Artitudes. Are you a woman who wants to start a business, or do you already own one? Artitudes has a special offer for you. Learn to pitch for funding or for sales with our women-owned package. It includes content and speaker coaching and a pitch or sales presentation so that you can win with confidence. You can find it at artitudes.com/women-owned. That's women with an E. We're very collective. Best way to find me, type hashtag Lead Like a Woman into your search bar, and it's kind of crazy, I come up. Or as always, I'm all over LinkedIn. I'm excited to introduce our guest today. Sena Wheeler is part of a 5th-generation fishing family and the co-founder of Sena Sea, which brings wild Alaskan seafood direct to your door. She's passionate about sustainability, helping busy families eat healthier, and educating people about the brain-boosting benefits of wild fish. She has a master's degree in nutrition and food science, with a specialty in quantifying omega-3s in fish and determining preferred handling practices for premium quality. Now that's just nuts, right? Talk about being very, very narrow on what you do. But she has used this to do amazing things. She and her husband, Rich, enjoyed running this family business together, spending part of the year in Alaska and having the flexibility to enjoy watching her children participate in their school sports. And of course, eating and cooking fish. Welcome, Sena Wheeler, to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Of course. Well, from a food scientist with Continental Mills, the Prestige brand, which many people know, to co-founding your own family business that brings sustainable and traceable fish to your buyers. How did you decide to create Sena Sea?
Well,
how did that happen?
When you say it like that, I'm not sure.
No.
I've said before, it's kind of a full circle thing, but what I think that means is like, you don't know you're there till you're there.
Yeah, that's true. You're like, wait a minute, how did I get here?
Right. So I come from a multi-generational fishing family. So my dad fished, my uncles all fished, my grandpa fished, his dad fished all the way back to Norway.
Oh, that's amazing.
The fishing's just always been there. That is just the way it is. I went and fished with my dad in the summers just to earn money and, spend time. And then I got my master's. So my goal was the Continental Mills, the food science.
Yeah, food scientist. I want to learn about that too. So I
love it. And I got my master's in it. And then I ended up getting it in fisheries only because I'd been on a boat, and I got my whole master's program paid for because I was working with a fish scientist. And so I was like, awesome. Oh, sure, I know fish, but the whole goal is the food science, so I just happened to get this master's degree in food science, specializing in fish, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And then went to Continental Mills. That was my goal. And that's what I did. And I loved it. It was my dream job. I did that for 8 years. You set a goal and you followed it. I just set a goal and just did it. And then that was
amazing.
It was right in college. I mean, still graduating with my master's.
Yeah.
The one and only place I applied to was Continental Mills, and I got it. And it was the one place I'd wanted to work.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Wow. Focus.
Oh, yeah. And so I was working there, and I had worked there for 8 years, and like I say, loved it. It just got to a point because my husband was now a fisherman. He was running my dad's boat or working on my dad's boat, and he was gone. And then after we had 2 kids, we knew we were going to have more, and it just got to that tipping point of full-time work, multiple kids, husband gone.
Of course. Too much is what it was.
Too much. It was like, wait, I might end up paying somebody else to live my life for me.
Oh my goodness.
And people can make it work, but we had a cabin out in Eastern Washington at the time. And so we did the massive simplify, and we just sold our house and moved to our cabin and moved the kids way out. We were an hour out. We were way up in the mountains. We didn't have internet. We didn't have cell reception.
Wow. Simplify is right. How'd that go?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Love it.
Yeah. And so we were 3 years into that, and we have now a third kid, and I'm home, and my husband is doing fishing. He's doing marketing association, and I'm telling him, we're on this long car ride, and I'm telling him, because I have this background in fish, right? And all handling techniques, all this, and I'm going, well, you should do this, and you should market it like this, and you should sell it like grass-fed beef, and you should this, and you should that. And he finally just turned to me and goes, You should.
No.
You should.
Exactly.
You should. I said, what?
What a wonderful
He said,
man.
You should. You should sell my fish.
Oh,
you already know that we're handling it better than anybody in Alaska.
Wow.
We're catching Copper River salmon, the best salmon on the planet, and he's already handling it the best. He's made all of the improvements to the boat because I have a master's degree in how to handle fish, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was like a lightning bolt. By the time we got to Thanksgiving dinner, which is where we were driving, we had the name of the business. We announced to the whole family, we're starting a business. And then the craziest part is we did. And we were started by the time he went fishing again.
Holy moly, that's fast. Because he's gone from April to October. This was November.
Yeah. This was November.
Wow, set up by April.
Yeah.
My goodness. So I want to know a little bit. 5th generation fishing family. You started the business and you got it up and running in less than 6 months. So I want to know, I don't want to know what went wrong because we always talk about that. I want to know, Sena, what went right?
I would say there's a couple of things, but the biggest is the first thing we did was I invested in myself. And got training. So I knew fish.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know internet. Oh, we barely had internet. Oh, we had like a horrible internet. Like you can only download at night.
Oh my gosh.
Not in the day. Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
You could maybe check your email, but if you were going to watch something, you would have to do it at night. So I invested in B School, which was about building an online business, which
That's cool.
was the best thing to do because I wasn't that internet. I mean, I wasn't that savvy at that point on, what is an internet business and all of that. And the crazy thing is,
it's nuts.
Because I lived without internet, I would get up in the mornings before getting my kids off to school and doing all the other things. I would have to get up at 6 a.m. to watch. They were training videos and I could only download them in the night before 8 a.m. So I would set my alarm at first 6 a.m. And I almost think I watched every moment and I did everything. I did the homework every day because it was like, I can't not watch it today because I won't be able to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. I had this window and I just had to do it.
So you focused.
Yeah.
It's that focus. It's that focus that led you to Continental Mills and this focus that led you to have a successful internet business.
Right.
Wow.
Hey, you're right.
No, I mean, that's amazing. That's definitely a through line with you. Yeah. And that's something to really celebrate, I think.
Well, thank you.
Well, yes. So, I was looking at your website and I've really spent some time on Sena Sea because, I love halibut like we talked about, but not much else. But you talk about sustainability. Now, that was not heard of 5 generations ago in Norway. Obviously, it is now. In fact, Norway fishing up there is super sustainable. I'm fluent in Danish. I used to live in Scandinavia, so I know this. And they're really passionate about the world and saving the world. So how did you decide to make sustainability for the forefront and traceability, for that matter, of what you're doing with Sena Sea?
Well, that's a really good question. And in fact, all I'm doing is talking about what is real for us. Sustainability is a big deal. And for a lot of fishing families, sustainability is a really big deal. So people sometimes make an assumption that fishermen want to go out and catch the most fish. But most fishermen, all the fishermen we know are fishing families. Most are generational, and they want to have a livelihood that continues, and they usually do want to pass it to their kids. And so most fishermen are very ecologically minded. They're very, tied in. They understand, what's going on with the changing weather patterns. I mean, you ask my husband, he's like, oh, the fish is going to return because I see the birds, very tied in, very sustainably minded. And so that to us is a very real part of being a fishing family. And so it was very natural to tap into that. And I have found that people are very interested in, and, there's some misnomers out there. So it's been a really powerful kind of aspect to lean into. Wow.
But I think that's wonderful because it's really something, it's something not everybody knows. Because like you said, people think, they're just trying to get the most fish. But to that end, Sena C won Top Sustainable Food Company 2024 for the Food Business Review. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big achievement.
It's a big deal. And I'm just glad that, I'd love for people to understand that, fishing can be done sustainably. So just tying those two together for me are really key.
Yeah. And you've leveraged your experience. You've really leveraged what you did in order to start this company and run this company and make it something that is a sustainable company, but also about sustainable fishing. So well done, you. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, you have a raving fan base. You've got a fan base that really, really is passionate about supporting Sena C. And I think that speaks to the power of really good marketing and good copywriting for that matter. So give us a little bit of insight into how you did that and how you started that and how you created this fan base.
Well, it goes back to starting. When we started, like I said, I wasn't that savvy. And, I'm in this program and it was how to build a site and how to do this. And one of the things she said was start an email list. And I honestly was like, oh, what's that? I did not know. This is 2014. I don't know what an email list even is.
I know.
So I would never have started one. And I wouldn't have, I did everything she said.
I love it.
And then she said, start emailing them. Okay. I had, maybe 40 people, friends and family that I knew on the list. So I was like, okay. And I just emailed them. No big deal.
Wow.
And then, they say, make it consistent. So I slowly ramped up. I didn't email. I emailed maybe once a month, then twice a month. And then it would be it'd be several years ago now that I committed to every Monday.
So what do you send? What do you send out? Tell us.
So it's a really wide range because, I give myself a lot of license on that because these people have been with us for a long time. I talk about all kinds of stuff, and it's kind of a challenge to me to bring it back to fish, right? So I sell fish in every email. I have a link. So sometimes I talk about just the lifestyle or the sustainability or answer some questions. Yeah. Or sometimes I talk about my son wrestling.
I love that though. You're a real person with a real family, with a real family business.
And people really respond to it. People respond back. Literally, they reply to the email and, oh, congratulations to your son. My son won a state championship for wrestling this year.
Amazing.
And people were so excited because I'd been writing about it every year for 3 years.
And then he won the state. Wow.
And they were like, and so they've been following along. And so there's things like that are in context when you're kind of been on the list for a while. And so to me, it's sort of fun to get a harebrained idea and go, well, how do you tie that to selling fish? That's the challenge.
Well, but you're consistent too. You're consistent in sending these out. So I really do want to talk about the power of good copywriting because apparently, you have this raving fan base and these followers. So there's something there. So you learned about it while you were doing this B school, right?
Yep.
And then you put it into play. Now, what would you say is the most important thing you do with those emails? What is the most important thing other than being a little wild sometimes? But what other consistency do you have there?
To me, the important thing is the mindset. And if I had known I was to me now becoming a business owner, is basically becoming a writer. I mean, I write all the product descriptions,
Wow.
I write the emails, I'm writing to our people, I'm emailing our customers all the time.
Right.
And I had to take that shift because until running our business, I didn't even like to write on birthday cards.
Wow.
I would have my husband do it. I mean, I didn't like to write anything. And
oh my gosh, you had to shift your mindset. Wow.
I had to completely shift and just go, okay, I'm going to embrace writing. And I have worked on it, and I've taken additional trainings. And so I work it like a job. But in the very beginning, what kept me going, this might sound silly. What kept me going was I would earn kind of a baseline of $500 every time I sent an email.
Wow, that's great.
We had a small list.
Oh, wow.
And I just thought, you know what? If somebody offered me $500 to sit down and write an email right now, would I do it?
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, I'd do that. So that's what I had to tell myself.
Wow.
Would you write an email for $500? Yeah, I would.
Yes.
And now we earn 10 times that on an email on a regular basis.
That's amazing.
With a bigger list. So.
Great job. How'd you build your list? Just through consistency and through Instagram, or how did you build it?
Yes, mostly consistency and word of mouth and Instagram. And we haven't had any, we have done limited ads. And so I feel like a lot of the people that are there have, been there for a long time, or maybe they let their friends know, but it's very solid group.
That's amazing. Well, the other thing I want to ask about this is you use significant events, real or improvised, but like the Copper River season that's out now to drive sales. Now, do you do that through all channels? Do you do it through social? Do you do it through email? What do you do? How do you drive those sales that way?
What I do, I'm about efficiency. So because I'm a mom of 3, I'm always busy.
Absolutely.
So for me, I write the email, and then I have a social media person. So my email drives that week's everything, the talking points, everything. So the email of the week is basically the talking points of the week. So when something's coming with Copper River, things like that, I'm going to be talking about it, pull whatever you want out of the email. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing and talking about this week.
Oh, I think that's a really good way to do it, because then you do one piece and it gets disseminated on multiple channels. So fantastic.
And then you can turn that into a blog post, turn it into many social media posts. And so for me, it keeps me kind of staying inspired, because I just have to focus. Oh, that word, focus. I just have to focus on one thing. So I focus on my email, and then it gets scattered around, in different ways and reutilized in different ways. And so then I don't feel like I'm having to do little everythings everywhere.
Little everything's everywhere. I understand that as a mom too, and a business owner, so I get it. All right, so you have a really cool subscription service on your website. It's called, just so everyone knows, and we'll repeat it later and put it into the show notes, but it's SenaSea.com. So it's SenaSea.com. So how'd you come up with the subscription service idea? And tell me a little bit about it so our listeners know.
Well, part of our big thing is just eating more fish easier for people. So I know some people have kind of a block around fish, or it seems a little bit intimidating, or a lot of people, there's a lot of shoulds. I know I should eat more, but and so our thing is this, let's make it really easy. So we have our fish is already in 6-ounce portions, individually vacuum sealed, very easy to defrost. You're not like dealing with this whole fillet and cutting it up and trying to figure out what to do. So we have a lot of information around handling and recipes, and just here you go. And this is what I tell people, I guarantee you have fish in your freezer. Every month you get another box. You will eat more. I promise. So we have a big range, and it's super flexible. You can get a small box, whatever size box. You can get it every 1 month, every 2 months, every 3 months, whatever kind of fish you want. You can be very specific. I want only halibut. Or you can say, I want seasonal salmon. We'll send you this spring fish when it's spring, the fall fish when it's fall, so you don't have to track it. But we're just going to keep it really simple for you.
You also have recipes for people to use the fish. How do you develop these? Do you have a recipe developer, or are they you? Because there's really good food photography here too.
Oh, thank you. Well, I do a lot of it. And I have a bit of that food background. And so I do some of that. Although if the pictures are really good, I probably didn't take them.
That's funny.
So we also have some seafood organizations, because we fish out of Alaska and Copper River that we belong to, and they have some great recipes too. So that's a real nice help.
Oh, see, that's lovely that you can share those as well. There's so many recipes here. If you all like to cook like I do, go check out Sena C under recipes. It's in the tab on the left, but there's things like Alaska halibut with wild mushroom and leeks, skinny rockfish tacos with yogurt sauce. It all sounds so good. There's grilled chimichurri salmon with vegetables. There's so many recipes here. And what a great way to get people to use your product in a way that is tasty and easy. So really nice job on that. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to keep it easy and keep people fun, inspired and trying new things.
Yeah. All right. So 3 kids, a husband who fishes 6 months a year. You and Rich, so Sena and Rich are the founders of Sena C. Now, how do you manage that? Do you go to Alaska sometimes? What do you do? I'm curious.
Yeah, we get the kids up to Alaska every summer. So that's been a big part of our lifestyle. They've been totally a part of everything. So they go out on the boat. They know how to fish. We have a processing facility also where we process the fish. So they work there. They know how to do that. And then when, often I don't do farmers markets as much anymore, but then they would come home and go to farmers markets with me all summer, and they sell the fish. I mean, they're like little entrepreneurs. I remember my son, I went to the bathroom once. My son was 12 and I come back and this customer was like, if what this kid says is true, I'll buy everything.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh.
And he was telling him about how he just came home from Alaska and he caught most of this fish with his dad.
Oh, I love it. But it's great. You have a family business. The kids have seen it succeed, so they understand what that looks like. They have 2 parents who work hard. I think what you're doing is you're a good example for that generation. What a great example you're setting.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see them really take to it all the different aspects, and some of them take to different ones, which is really kind of cool. So it's a lot of work to have a business, and to have our kids included is really nice because it's sort of a whole family affair.
Which is what a family business is about. I think it's great. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
I want to know, you've been in business a while. 2014, and before that, you were with Continental Mills for 8 years. And you are a grad of, is it University of Oregon?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oregon State. I'm sorry, Oregon State University. I was going to say Oregon
State. I don't like the Ducks. I like.
I'm just saying
Beavers.
Yes to whatever. Yes to the Beavers.
So good for you. Good for you, because I'm a Husky. So.
Yes.
Graduate of University of Washington. So I want to know, in that time, I'm sure you've had mentors, people who've really helped you along your way. What is the most impactful or the best piece of advice that really you still use today that you received along the way?
I can think of some advice that we didn't take.
I understand that too.
But I would just say, I already mentioned it, but the best piece of advice on this with this business was to start the email list and to email regularly. And we're just still living it. And that was hands down the number one best thing we did.
That's fantastic. Start the email list. And honestly, in a way that is just like start doing something, right?
Yeah. And if I had just jumped in and tried to write like I write now, it would have been weird. And so, it just was such an organic beginning. I didn't have this grandiose plan of like, I'm going to write something fabulous. I would often just write and think to myself, I'm just going to write something really bad, a really crappy first draft, and just
you do this all the time.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's great. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love it. What kind of advice would you give to other women who are looking to start up a business that could be a family business and something you could run from home?
Well, my first advice is not philosophical. It's one thing we did not do is take a loan out. Don't try to do it out of pocket.
So that's interesting. A lot of women-owned businesses, and you're co-founder of a business. A lot of women-owned businesses, women don't typically take loans. Yeah. Women typically bootstrap and then later on take a loan.
Yeah.
So why is that important?
I think for us, we could have seen growth faster, although I think our growth timeline was what it needed to be. It's like, if Oprah had found us the first year, we wouldn't have been ready to ship that many boxes, so you have to.
Did Oprah find you? Hold, please.
No, I know. Never.
Okay,
that was always kind of my dream. I was like, oh, I could just fast forward all this if Oprah would just find our fish and be like,
get on the favorite things. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Let's make that a goal. Let's get Sena C on Oprah's favorite things.
We're ready now.
We're ready.
We're ready.
Let's do it.
So that's one of the things I would think about. Like I would think about, okay, you'd fast forward. If we could just be on Oprah's favorite things, we would just be there. We'd be done. But then I think, you know what? We're not ready. I wouldn't be able to ship that many boxes. So I'm a systems person. So in my mind, I'm always getting ready for when Oprah finds us.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That's amazing. It really is. Because your growth is what it is. It's not, if you go from 0 to 100 in a week, you're not going to be able to sustain it.
Right. Yeah. Now
you have a warehouse. I'm going to ask you this quickly, but you have a warehouse in Alaska, right?
We have a warehouse here in Wenatchee, where we ship from. And so that's where my small team is, and we pack boxes and ship out from here.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you had one up there too. So
we have a processing facility up there.
Oh, wow.
So
look at you go.
Yeah, we catch it, we process it, we bring it down here where I am, and then we pack our own boxes, and then I sell it. And so nobody does all those things. I know why. It's, tons of work.
It is, yeah. Absolutely. Wow. Well, this has been so fun today. Sena, I believe that every woman on earth has a superpower. And I could probably name one of yours right away, but what is your superpower?
I think that, I think you already uncovered it.
I did. It's focus, right?
It's focus, and it's my ability to focus. And what's funny is my husband's superpower is the opposite, and he is sort of like ADHD brain, and he can do everything. Yeah. And I have really learned to value and lean into the fact that I can focus, and not everybody can.
Not everybody can. Not everybody is that driven to focus.
Right.
So that is absolutely a superpower. Wow, we've had such a fun conversation today with you, Sena Wheeler, founder of Sena C. Where can we find you online?
Come say hi. Come to senac.com, SENASEA.com. And of course, jump on my email list, because that's where I love to connect and communicate with everybody. And we have a free downloadable cookbook when you do that, because I love to share recipes too.
Okay, I love that. The other way I would say is go check out their Instagram. It's SenaC_seafoods. And they've got a great following on there too. So go do that. You won't be disappointed. All right. Thank you, Sena, for being here today.
Thank you.
All right. Remember, listeners, I want you to remember that we all have superpowers. Sena has the superpower of focus. I have superpowers, and listeners, you have superpowers as well. Identify them and please use them for good. And thank you for listening today to the Lead Like a Woman show. See if I can talk, where we are passionate about empowering female leaders to keep empowering others. Now go find your focus and your superpower and have a great day.